Hi there everyone. This is my very first live, so forgive me if I get it all wrong or have to stop halfway, but I'm going to give it a red hot go. So I'm Lisa from Active Domestics. I've been making videos for over 12 years on YouTube now. I used to have a cleaning business, and I have a lot of experience with cleaning personally because I've got a large family, 4 sons that are all adults now, but 3 of them still live at home. So this house sees a lot of dirt. There's a lot of cleaning to be done, and it's often me that does it. So anyway, I have been needing to clean my vacuum cleaner filters for quite a long time. See, now this is what happens. Every time I go to make a video, the dogs start barking or the neighbors start screaming at one another. It is quite challenging, or people are coming in and out of my house and it's too noisy, or all those sorts of things. So it's actually really hard sometimes to find that perfect scenario of making a video. But we persist and do what we can. So I am going to see, I'm going to try and get this sorted out. As I said, you'll just have to forgive me, I'm sorry. It's all a learning for me. But basically I've got my Miele canister vacuum over there. And one of the most popular videos that I have is actually cleaning filters in the vacuum cleaner. It's a job that a lot of people don't do and ignore, and eventually the vacuum cleaner stops sucking and it is, they just go and buy a new one. But in actual fact, vacuum cleaners do need maintenance, and so it's something that you do need to look at from time to time and get done. So I'm going to just get into it. Now obviously the first thing you need to do is get prepared. So I've got my apron, I've got my gloves, and I've got a bin here to empty the contents of the canister first. Now I've done this multiple times before, and I know that it's going to be filthy. So please don't be shocked and disgusted. This is just how it goes. So it's easier to take this off when it's on the floor. So, but let me just pop my gloves on. Oh shit. Sorry. That's going to be the hard part, because sometimes I'm accidentally going to swear and I don't think YouTube likes that. So I really stuffed that one up and did not get it into the bin properly at all. Obviously I really don't want to be breathing in all this dust. One of the other ways that a lot of people actually wreck their vacuum cleaners is by not realizing where the max line is for filling their vacuum cleaners. Because it's there for a reason, you know. Vacuum cleaners need to have air circulating around it in order for it to work. And so you're not doing it or yourself any favors, or your finances any favors, if you don't consider the basic maintenance or look after the basic instructions for use for your vacuum cleaner. So I'm just going to get rid of this dirt first. Then we'll start that process again, hopefully more successfully this time. Now, I have done this before, as I've said, and I have read the manual, and I am familiar with some of the things that I need to be aware of with doing this job. Number one is you don't want to be using any chemicals when you're actually cleaning bits of your vacuum cleaner, because if you use chemicals or put it out into the sun to dry, then the plastics in the vacuum cleaner are going to become more brittle, and it's actually going to shorten the lifespan of your vacuum cleaner. So it actually says in the manual just to rinse things out with water, and so that's what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to just try and adjust the camera so you can see a little bit more. Want that water on slowly to begin with so that it doesn't splash too much dirt around. Now, the fact is, with doing this job today, is I've got to get ready to go to work soon, and I've been meaning to do this job for such a long time, and every time I think, no, I don't want to get it done because I want to use the vacuum cleaner over the weekend or things like that. But by today is Wednesday for me here in Australia, and by doing it today, I can let everything dry for a couple of days, and then that will allow me to have the vacuum cleaner ready for use by the time the weekend comes around and I've got some time to do some cleaning. So I'm just rinsing this part out here. Now the Miele Blizzard canister vacuum cleaner has got this pre-filter thing here that you just zip out, and you can just treat it really gently. It's got these little mesh bits on it. You obviously don't want to rub anything too hard or anything along those lines. This vacuum cleaner, when I bought it in Australian dollars, cost me close to $1,000. So had it for probably about 10 years now. It has lasted really well, and this is probably only the third or fourth time that I've actually given it a really good clean like this, and I can tell you that's not nearly enough. I probably, given the amount of use that our vacuum cleaner gets, it probably needs to be cleaned at least every 6 months, and it does say that in the manual. Now in this particular vacuum cleaner, it's got this, to show you, this annoying little bit in the middle of the canister here that's quite hard to pull out. I don't know whether I can do it with these gloves on, so I just have to, oh yeah, there we go, it'll come out quite easily. Let me just rinse my hand. Now these gloves are actually really good. I bought them a long time ago. They're really thick. I got them from like a proper cleaning place, and gee, they've lasted really well. They've been very cost effective. So we're going to get up to the really gross bits in a minute, so hang in with me. I know this bit's the boring bit, but we are about to get into the really gross bits where I'm going to take out the inner filter. So let me just rinse this part out. Now remember, I'm just using cold water, not hot water. That's what the manual says. You don't want to do anything to make those plastics brittle. Now, this is the inner part of the vacuum cleaner. The only problem with these gloves is they're a little bit too big for me, so they don't allow me for sensitive movements. Now I just have to remember how to do this. Oh yeah, just pull it out. I've got an old rag here that I'm using to, this is just an old cut up work shirt from my husband. I just cut up old bits of cloth and I use them for doing really dirty, gross jobs and then throw them out. So it is good to use that. Now, you're about to be surprised as to how much dirt is in here. Oh God. Okay, there you go. Let me just get that bin back. Actually, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, thank goodness. That first time I did it, it was just so caked on, but can you see? So that's why my vacuum cleaner was really struggling, and actually I could hear it. It was still picking up pretty well, but it was not sounding great at all. Now, the good thing about doing this kind of job live is, of course, I get to show you how long it approximately takes to get it done. Now, obviously, it's going to take me a lot longer because I'm looking at the video and making sure I've got it pointed in the right direction and explaining things as I go. Like I said, I've got to go to work soon, so I've got to get moving. Because I'll need to have a shower after this job. And if any of you are wondering, I've been making YouTube videos for over 12 years now, and not all YouTubers make a lot of money. I don't quite, I'm not as consistent enough as what the algorithm likes. So anyway, I plug along and do the best that I can, and because it's a really good platform, not only for me to share the information that I have, but I get a lot of really good comments from the viewers that give me good information or other people good information to read as well. So I think it's really great that, you know, we have this ability to connect with one another all over the world, learn about how we do different things, learn from one another. So I don't know whether you can see, let me just see if I can adjust this down anymore without everything coming crashing down. But I'm just rinsing it and rinsing it and rinsing it. It's going to take a little bit of time. Now, when I did this job last time, it was literally caked on in all these areas. I've got a couple of videos shortened down to about 10 to 15 minutes where I go step by step on how I cleaned this particular vacuum cleaner. Most of the vacuum cleaners are pretty much the same. I've had all different brands over the years, and some of them actually have got replaceable filters where you actually have to purchase other ones and replace them from time to time, like every 6 to 12 months. And some of them have got cleanable filters. And some of them actually have got a combination of both. So you really have to be familiar with your own vacuum cleaner, read the manual, because that'll be the difference as to whether your vacuum cleaner is going to last or not last. As I said, or what I've found over the years, is that the cheaper the vacuum cleaner, the more maintenance it's going to need. And the more expensive vacuum cleaners, often if you actually just really look after them, they really will last. You have to read the manual and follow the instructions and respect the investment that you made in your vacuum cleaner. So, I don't know whether you can see, starting to see a little bit of the difference there where it's less dirty, but it is a time-consuming job. There's all these little thin parts in here that I'm very gently, I'm barely touching this. I'm literally just using the cold water, and I'm just moving this, this bamboo disposable fork very gently in here. As I said, when I did this in times previous, I found the dirt was really stuck in there, and even the water was just not enough to actually dislodge the dirt. So I had to do that, even though it actually says in the manual not to poke it or do it with anything. But I am being very, very gentle. So if you're wondering, I am heading off to work soon. I work sort of as a receptionist and a tour guide. And I think that having made all these videos over the years actually certainly assisted me in the tour guide part of my job. So I work in a, I won't tell you where I work, but I work in a lovely building in Queensland, we'll say. So in Australia. I'm not going to get this perfectly, as I said. This is what I have to work with the time that I have, and I have to do the best possible job that I can within the time frame that I have. Just like we all have to do. And sometimes you get the job done really perfectly, and sometimes you just get the job done. And this is going to be one of those days. So this is my first live. If you, I should have repeated that. It's probably, unless it's probably really, really obvious. But this is the very first time I've done a live. I'm quite excited at the thought of not having to edit anything. As much as I love editing videos, it's very time consuming. It is fun though to be a bit creative. So most of the viewers here, I expect, are probably over on the Northern Hemisphere. So hello. You guys are probably finished work for the day and relaxing. I'm working later today, so I don't have to start work until 1 p.m. But I'll be working until about 10 or 11 p.m. Because we have a special event thing happening at work. So don't normally work those hours. Normally I just work sort of like 9 to 5 or 8 to 4. So obviously this is the bit, you can see it's getting a little bit cleaner. It's still quite dirty. It's never going to come up perfectly clean because sort of, well, certainly does come up a lot better when you give it a little scrape with this thing. Because it's got all these little grooves in it, and the dirt really just gets stuck in those grooves. But like I said, the manual said not to do that, because it's the reason why, of course, is because it'd be very, very easy to rip and damage it. And if they told you to do that, then you would do that and break it, and then you'd be writing to them saying, hey, I want a free one because it's broken. So you just have to use your common sense, respect your investment, and learn what works for you. This is the bit that's going to take the longest to dry, obviously. This is the bit that you really must make sure it's completely dry before you put everything back in, and especially before you use the machine again. I mean, once you put this back into this plastic container, it's not going to get much of a chance to dry any more than that, is it? So you must sit it outside, not in the sun. Remember, the vacuum cleaner said don't use hot water, don't put things in the sun, because, I mean, the manual, gosh, did I say the vacuum cleaner? I meant the manual. I'm a bit dyslexic sometimes. That's where editing does come in handy, because I sometimes say the wrong word. If you've been watching any of my videos, you will have noticed that over the years. But anyway, we get there in the end. That's a lot cleaner. Yeah, so you want to keep everything with plenty of time to dry, but keep everything drying in the shade, not in the sun. Don't use any products, and don't use hot water, just cold water and dry in the shade. So yes, this is a long-winded bit, sorry folks. But anyway, the water is not running so dirty anymore, and I'm pretty happy to leave it at that. As I said, I have to just do the best job that I can today based on the time that I have. And I think I'm okay with that. So at least it doesn't have clumps of dirt in it. And yes, if I had more time, I could meticulously try and clean all those little areas, but it's pretty good. Now, so I'm just going to rinse this part out. So this is the bit where the filter goes into, and that is also very dirty. Take that down. As you can see, this is a very well used sink. I've done a lot of painting in our house, which is why I've got so many videos about cleaning walls and ceilings and things like that. I essentially have painted this whole house internally and externally. Despite having a husband and 4 sons, I'm the handy woman and the painter and stuff in this house. And that's the way I like it, because you've got to be patient with the different stages of things like painting, because it's a lot like cleaning. You just have to be patient with the different stages and do each stage properly. Now, there is a lot of dirt caked in the bottom of this, but that's getting it out. Obviously, once I've finished this job, I'm going to be cleaning the sink and all around the tap because it's filthy. I've got everything currently dumped in the little sink next to me, which is the hand basin sink. Well, I'm happy that this is my first live. I'm happy that I'm doing it because I've been thinking about doing it for a long time. But I'm also really, really happy I'm getting this job done, because it's something that I have been wanting to do for a long time. So I've got my rag. This is one of my husband's cut up old shirts. We've got a cupboard that we keep all these rags in. Cut them up into bits, and then actually use them for really filthy jobs. They're also great for if you just want to wipe all over the screens and things like that. These are security screens, so I can't take them off and wash them, but I can rub over them with a dirty cloth. It's incredible how much dirt it brings off. But anyway, the final part of this job is to just give the vacuum cleaner a really nice wipe down as well. I'm just going to start the handle. And I'm starting in the outer parts because, of course, they are the least dirty parts. And then I am just going to give everything a really good clean here. And then just be turning that rag over when it gets too dirty. Got a little twig in there. There you go. So, thank you for hanging out with me today and getting this job done. I really hope that it actually inspires you to get this a similar job done for yourself. Here I can see it's just hitting the 25-minute mark of this video. As I said, it's not going to take you as long to actually do this job yourself. I've been explaining and talking about what I'm doing, which obviously really slows me down. And worrying about the camera. This has been my first live, so it's been a bit of a learning curve for me. But anyway, I'm going to just finish off by cleaning the sink area, and I then I'm going to go and jump in the shower and get ready for work. So thank you very much for hanging with me, and I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you later. I'm Lisa from Active Domestics. And actually, before I go, I just want to let you know I do have plenty of playlists with lots of information of things like hanging your washing, cleaning walls, cleaning filters in an Electrolux or in a Dyson or in a Miele, like this one is. So, you know, you can actually, cleaning, a lot of people think cleaning is, you know, doesn't involve much and anyone can do it. But the fact is cleaning does involve a lot of skills. And if you learn some of those skills in your life, it's actually going to make your life a lot easier and actually save you a lot of money in the process. So I'm hoping that I am a platform here at Active Domestics Cleaning for people to really share, contribute and learn from one another, not just learn from me, because as I said, whilst I did have a cleaning business, I had a small cleaning agency for nearly 20 years, I should say. I haven't been doing that for the last 5 or 6 years, but I still have a large family. I've got 4 sons, 3 of which still live at home, even though they're adults now and they do contribute and all the rest of it. It's, you know, there's still a lot of cleaning to be done in this house. So I want you to have a great day. Check out any of those videos. Check out the playlists. Would be a really quick way for you to see what kind of content that I've got. So thanks for watching, and I will catch you later. See you later. Now, actually, I better learn how to turn this off, hadn't I? So I'll just take this out. Oh, thank you. And thank you so much to all the lovely people that actually said hello. I had it hooked up and I couldn't see any of the comments. So thank you so much. I can see Addison and Tiv. There's been multiple people that have actually sent me messages and I actually didn't see them because I don't need 2 pairs of glasses these days, and it's just I'm still in denial about that. So catch you later. See ya. Now, how do you turn it off? Crikey. That part's not obvious. Let me see. Are you sure that you want to stop streaming? Okay, see you later. Bye.